Hey everybody, I wanted to do a detailed analysis of how Navigate on Autopilot handles exit ramps and when it can handle them and when it can't. So the first thing to understand is that there are many types of exit ramps and we're going to just deal with a few of them. Next, you need to understand that there are two parts to an exit ramp, a deceleration lane and then the exit ramp itself. The length of the deceleration lane is different on almost every ramp. If we take a look at the first exit I'm going to show you, we have a 750-foot deceleration lane and then a very lengthy exit ramp. Here I've mapped out everything that occurs during this exit, but let's take it one step at a time. So here we're approaching the deceleration lane for this exit ramp. So here the Tesla puts on the blinker and actually turns into the deceleration lane all by itself. Also notice it does it at the very beginning of this 750-foot deceleration lane. Watch the screen on the left as the car makes the turn.
The exit really jumps very fast on that exit.
So we're at the top of this diagram traveling at 59 miles per hour with our cruise set to 70 miles per hour. The turn takes place and then we start seeing at 600 feet out from the end of the deceleration lane a message that counts down saying navigation on autopilot ending. Now this seems to occur for 600 feet to 0 feet, and if your deceleration lane is longer, these messages will appear after you make your turn into the exit lane. Notice our speed went from 59 to 63 right after we made the turn into the deceleration lane. That's probably because there was a car in front of me and it freed it up to accelerate. But once the 600-foot notice started, it started slowing down automatically and adjusting the cruise speed accordingly. At this point, we've hit the end of the deceleration lane and we're entering the exit ramp. Notice the tone and then the video animation showing the car going from Navigate on Autopilot graphics to the regular AP graphics with the two blue lines on the line lanes. We have now transitioned to the exit ramp and we're automatically switched from Nav on Autopilot into Standard Autopilot. As in the past, the Tesla starts slowing us down from 54 miles per hour in this case by adjusting our cruise speed. However, what is different now is that our speed will be taken down to 0 a little before the end of the exit ramp. At 21 miles per hour, you receive a new message, Autopilot navigation complete, press the accelerator to resume. Previously, AP would just continue to drive at our set cruise speed and not stop. There's been a lot of discussion that the Tesla is seeing the red light and stopping, but I believe it's using the GPS and map information to know the end of the exit ramp location. It could be using a little bit of both to make the decision. On the second exit, we have a 900-foot deceleration lane, and then the exit ramp is a hairpin turn to the right.
Ah, yes. Very long exit ramp here. Wobbles over.
In this case, the 600-foot countdown starts a little late, and if you notice, it gets to 0 feet already in the turn after we've entered the exit ramp.
Looks like the countdown is to the end of the turn. Wow, it really slowed down. Look how slow it went. And it's taking this turn nicely, and then I think it's going to come to a stop. I gotta believe it picked up that truck. And it says end of navigation. I'm going to press the accelerator, and yeah, it won't get closer. So it either picked up that truck or it just stopped, and it knew how long this ramp was.
This exit, we again have a long 900-foot deceleration lane, and notice how the Tesla takes the exit lane immediately when it becomes available.
Now in this lane, there's lots and lots of room after you actually exit before a traffic light, and I want to show you. So it's taking this all by itself. I don't do anything. And then the countdown, like, oh well, the countdown's starting here. But
on this exit, notice how it maintains the speed through this exit ramp.
Come to a stop. It's going to go into autopilot. It must somehow sense that we're on there's no intersection and there's a long ramp. So in this case, it just goes into autopilot and handles the ramp fairly well, and then never really comes to a stop. I believe it's going to just track the cars in front of me, and well, it's a green light, so oh, look at that, it did know. So it must either know, and it's coming to a dead stop. I'm going to have to go because there's cars behind me. It's a green light. It must know the exit ramp distance and know to come to a stop. I don't know if it's reading a red light. I bet you it's using map information to know the exit ramp length.
On this exit, there's no dedicated deceleration lane, but notice how it still turns on the blinker to make the exit. And then the countdown starts after you enter the exit ramp, and we do eventually come to a stop.
And we've got another exit coming up. I'm in the exit lane here, which is the key. You need to have a lot of room. Put the blinker on by itself to take the exit, and it's taking the exit all by itself. Very nice. Very nice. Now here's the countdown. Let's see how it does here. It's slowing down dramatically. And telling you it's going to take over. It's got a exit right here, and it's just eventually going to come to a stop. So it just came to a stop. It just basically always comes to a stop, I think.
So this exit only had a 400-foot deceleration lane, and what's very odd is the countdown started before the turn, and then the turn, right after the turn, it went to autopilot, and then slowed down dramatically for a hairpin turn.
So this is a very tight, a very short exit ramp, and it bailed last time. I'm curious what it does, or if it's capable. I'm feeling it's going to say it's going to disable.
Notice the countdown starts here before the turn.
It takes it this time.
Now notice it slows down so dramatically that it actually detects the car behind me.
And it slows down. Really goes slow here. But takes this hairpin turn pretty successfully. And gets into the middle lane. Comes to a stop pretty much next to...
So this exit has a 300-foot deceleration lane, and so the countdown starts well before the exit ramp, and then it goes into a side road, so it really never slows down, just goes into autopilot. I do have to make a right-hand turn at the end. So here the countdown starts, and it's well before the turn, but at 300 feet it makes the turn, and then it deposits me into a side feeder road, and it slows down. I think it would have just kept going. I took over right here just to make a turn at a street off the side of road. So this exit goes into a cloverleaf, and it starts counting down 600 feet out, but with a different message. Navigate on autopilot, unavailable in X feet, unsupported maneuver. As it approaches, the deceleration lane is 600 feet, but it just doesn't want to take the exit.
Okay, so I'm coming up to an exit that it has had a lot of trouble taking. curious when the countdown starts or when it decides to disable, how far out basically it decides to disable the nav on autopilot auto exit. I think it's coming up soon.
So this is the different message that you see on your screen, unsupported maneuver, that you get when nav on autopilot can't take an exit.
Yep, right there. Starts counting down. And it says it's an unsupported feature. And it switches to autopilot. I put in the lane change, and it was going to lane change, but it disabled nav by autopilot.
So this is the same cloverleaf, but I'm entering from a different direction, and same thing occurs. I get the countdown as I get within 600 feet of the start of the deceleration lane. Deceleration lane in this direction is a little shorter, but it still just bails on me back into standard autopilot, and if I could take the turn manually, but it doesn't do it by itself. Thanks for watching. If you want to see some of my other Model 3 videos, they're here in the top right. I just created a new channel, Nick's Pickleball Life, for my pickleball adventures. The name's weird, but the game is great, and you can find games virtually everywhere. If you want 6 months of free supercharging, please use my referral code listed on the bottom left. My Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram accounts are listed on the bottom right. And please don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends. Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.